Hi, my name's Deanna, co-founder of Sister Solutions. Welcome back to our sibling interview. Today we're going to be talking about what do we call him? Sperm donor? Bio dad? What do we all refer to him as?
That's really weird. That comes from the what is it? Biodad? The biodad side.
Biodad. It sounds like he's like a robot. I don't know. When I hear like biodad, I think of like some type of robot. I don't know.
That brings up a really good question though. When you guys refer to him, how do you? So like I either say biological father or donor dad. Like what words do you guys use?
I straight up just say dad. I don't tell him. I would never say that to him though, because that's like a line that I just don't feel like we should cross.
You know he's gonna watch this, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, if he does, like, it's a line that I just don't think like we're ready to cross. But like, I do consider him like my dad, but I never actually even had a dad figure anyways. So like, I don't even know what a typical, like, I know what it's, I know what it's supposed to look like, you know what I mean? But I've never actually experienced it anyway. So like, this is normal to me. Like, so like, this doesn't seem weird to me when I have like questions about, like my we were talking about taxes. Like when I have questions about my taxes, he's like, yeah, here, let me help you out. And I'm like, that's a normal thing for me. You know what I mean? Like that's like, I'm like, oh, I'm just learning like what a dad, quote unquote, is, because I've never even had one. So like it doesn't really, it's like having like just like a best friend to me. Like that's what it is to me. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I talk to him a lot and I'm always like, you're my bio dad. And like, I think that comes from a point of, I don't know, it feels so weird to call someone else dad because I haven't had like a dad since I was 13. So it also feels like weird. I don't want to replace him, even though I know I'm not replacing him, but just everyone's always telling me he's my dad, still my dad. But this dude is my dad and he's like a really good like father figure, and he's there again when I need to call him about something. I'm like, how do you do this? He tells me how to do it, and he has a very like dad like thing. And even at one point I messaged him and I said something about so when are y'all gonna adopt me so I can be a part of that? And it was like something about them, I don't know if they were going out to eat or doing something fun as a family, and I was like, adopt me and let me go along. And he was like, I don't need to adopt you because you're my daughter. And I was just like, oh. I was like, you sweet man. And so he's yeah. So yeah, I say bio dad though, but then that comes with more questions because people are like, why are you saying? I don't know. But I say bio dad because biological father is too long. That's too much attention span for me. How about you?
I usually say like bio dad or donor dad, but sometimes it's like, oh, the guy that donated the sperm and I was just like a trail off. It's just so awkward to be like, oh, this is I don't know, it feels weird saying bio dad. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. You never would have thought you'd have to say like clarify which dad is which. Like it's just uncomfortable. But yeah.
Have you met him or talked to him?
I have not. I'm weird about it because he seems like he's a really like great guy, but I feel like it would hurt my dad's feelings, and I'm just afraid to step over that line. And I don't know. So I'm like, maybe one day, but I'm like, it's weird. I don't know. Someday maybe.
Yeah. I think myself, Hannah, and Adam are the only ones that have ever talked to him, and Hannah and Adam talk to him a lot, and I very occasionally text him or maybe talk on the phone once every couple months.
But it's also, you look at it, me and Adam are two of the people who talk to him that don't have like
right.
dad figures in our lives.
Definitely making up for something.
Yeah. And then like you have like a dad, and so like that's also some weird stuff, dealing with that balance and all of that. So I think that lets it where it's easier for me and Adam just to talk to him.
And I think of that too, like if nothing, like it is having a dad, it is complicated, especially knowing who he is and wanting to talk to him, but then feeling like I have to be careful of my dad's emotions and like trying to balance that. But ultimately, regardless what happens, I think of it like, if nothing else, I gave a gift to Hannah and Adam. Like, you guys have these beautiful relationships with him and have all that contact, and even if on my end things are complicated, I gave you guys that, and that just makes it all worth it. Like, knowing that you guys got that.
Yeah, I mean, like when it comes to this is all right. So this is we don't, you don't have to use this or whatever. But like when it comes down to it, like what this guy did, he's literally like, in a cup and like a bunch of times, and like that's what it really is. I mean, that's what it really is, though. Like, like, I mean, like you can't sugarcoat it. Like that's what it really is. And like, he didn't have to be a cool person about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the fact that he like decided, hey, I'm gonna be a cool person about this, like, and like hear about these people, and like, like there's no need to do that, like, because like, he already did enough, like, he gave somebody a child, and like with possibly the risk of that child coming out of the woodwork and being like, hey, you're my dad. It's cool though, because it doesn't really mean anything to me either, but like if you want it to mean something, like that's cool too. And like he was just like, yeah, why not? And I always look at that, I'm like, dude, that's the cool
I
shit.
think
Cool thing.
too, I think the biggest thing with him that I like, I give a lot of respect for it, was when I first found him, he was really shocked. Fair. But he reached out to me first. I didn't reach out to him. Our great granduncle gave him my information, but he went out of his way and read perspectives of other conceived people about getting rejected and how that impacted their lives. And one of the first things he said to me is, I've read these stories and I never want you to feel like that. And like the fact that he took that time and was emotionally intelligent enough to do so, I think says like so much about his character, that I wish that was like the standard for other people.
I think that's so cool because like the We Are Donor Conceived, it's like a Facebook group. And like reading some of those horror stories, like I couldn't imagine, like it's just like so much rejection, and it's just such a horrible like feeling, I would assume. So I'm just happy that we've never had to go through that. My mom even told me that she said that on the little like thing when they're like reading about the donor, the nurse even said like he's really nice. So it's just like it's cool that we have someone so nice. Like I couldn't imagine like even having to say like, yeah, my dad's a total dick, like, or sorry, but yeah, it's just nice that like he's a good guy. So
Yeah, that's what a lot of
When
donor conceived people get to say about their sperm donors.
when Deanna first reached out to him, and then like because she reached out to him and she let me know that she reached out to him, and we were just like communicating over text, and like I was just like, cool, like I've got like a half brother, a half sister, like, and like I've met like the half brother. I wonder if I'll ever, like, I didn't know about any of this at that point, and then like Deanna's like, I found another one. I found another one. I found another one. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what is going on? Too much. I would literally just be like, it'd be like every other day. And I'd like on my phone, I'd be like, okay. And I just like go back to like producing music. And I was like, nothing's wrong. Nothing's different. Everything's the same. But I remember when Deanna would be talking about it, like when she was talking about him. And like, I just remember like reaching out to her one night, and I was just, or reaching out to him. I just sent him an email. I'm just gonna do it, I guess. Like I'm just like, because I finally like got enough courage up to actually like be like, all right, let's just see what happens. And like, I remember just like texting Deanna. I was like, I'm crying right now. I'm like legit like bawling, destroyed. Like 13-year-old me is like in this letter, because it's like literally everything I thought I was gonna say. And like I've always thought that like, my dad, whatever, would like reject me. like 100%, like right off the bat. Like when that didn't happen, I was like, I don't know what to do with this. It was like all of a sudden I was like, I don't know, because I've never played out this scenario. I always played out the other one where like I would one day meet him and like, maybe I would one day meet him, or maybe I'd one day talk to him or whatever. And then like he didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. You're gonna have to give me a second. I don't know what to do here. And it was just, I think that just talks a lot about his character, and like it talks a lot about like, the person that he is, and like I just obviously don't know him enough where I can be like, oh yeah, like there's the opposite side of it. I'm sure he has it. I'm sure I got passed down a little bit of it in genetics, but like, it's just nice. Like that part's just awesome.
It really is.
When I first found out, in retrospect, I think I put a lot on you because you were the only sibling that I had contact with. And it was still like we didn't talk for the first like week probably that I found out, because it was like Christmas and, chaos and whatnot. But then I feel like I put a lot on you really fast. And like now I know, like with other siblings, I would never tell them like what his name is or anything about him unless they want to know, because like some of them don't, that's their thing, that's cool. But like when I found him and I was finding all these siblings, I was like,
no, I was excited every single moment that you would do it at the same time.
But yeah, I feel like I put a lot on you right away. But
hey, but it was worked out because Adam was excited.
Yeah.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
All of it. And it's so funny to think back on how we felt like, 2 years ago versus now. And yeah, like Rachel, what do you refer to him as?
Honestly, I don't know. I think, I haven't really had the opportunity, I guess, to tell that many people. I've told my friends, like my close friends, my family obviously knows, but they also know his name. So I just refer to him by his name. And if they don't know, then I guess I say like donor dad, or something. But I haven't met him either, or talked to him in any way, shape, or form. So I think it's a little different, right? Because I think, attach different labels to people depending on how connected we feel to them. And so I think, as someone also whose dad isn't here anymore, I would like to get to know him, but then there's that social awkward part that's like, I have nothing to talk to him about, or I probably do, but I don't know like what to say. And so I think, like I don't know. I think that's how, it's probably a better question for the people I talk to than for me, honestly. But I think that's how I refer to him.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you if you think you'll ever want to meet him or ever talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, I do, mostly because I loved my dad and he was great, but he and I were like complete opposites. And so it was really like, I don't think I would have gotten my PhD without my dad, because there was this huge emphasis on academics, but it was a lot of pressure. So like if I came home with like a 97, it's like, well, not like good job. First it was, what did you miss? Do you know the answer? Do you know how you got there? Okay, now good job. And so I think that it would just be really nice to kind of see the other perspective, because I never felt like I was like there definitely are parts, kind of like how Adam was saying, there are definitely parts that are from my mom's side for sure. But then there's a lot that's not, I think. Like my mom likes animals. She doesn't love animals. Even though we had 7 cats and 3 dogs, like that was not really her choice. She just lived there with all of them. But yeah, I mean, like, I think you guys are all a lot, as like a dumb example, you guys are all a lot taller than me. So that I think would be an example of something from my mom's side. And
Mhm.
I don't know, it just brings up like the whole nature nurture debate, I think. So I kind of want to see like what he's like and see. I totally didn't grow up with him or any of his, likeness. So what's
the same? I
Yeah.
think one of the things I find so funny when you were talking about academics, I mean, because wait, he didn't graduate college, right?
No, I was thinking that too.
So
I was
he didn't
like-
graduate
I was like,
college.
yeah.
Our like, is it Deanna? Our great Virgil. We want to we say we want to be like Virgil.
So our great, no. Yeah, great, no. Great.
Just great. Just one great.
Our great grandfather, he has patents and he worked for Bell as an electrical engineer, but never actually went to school for it and just
He lied his whole way through.
He faked it till he made it.
Successful. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have like
So cool.
our bio dad, who's also like very successful, extremely intelligent, did not get a college degree because he was just like, I don't got time for that. And then like I would not have got like, I mean, I have a college degree just because it was just like what was next and it was just what I did, but like not because I was really bored with it. I just want to get done and do other stuff. And I'm very much like to be hands-on. Deanna is like working on her college degree. Like
I'm only doing it because it's free through my mom's union.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's not priority, I guess.
But it's just like, huh?
I dropped out.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like, look at you, like you're successful and making it. You're an entrepreneur. So a lot of us have like I love seeing all the siblings' brains and how they work. They're all very creative and all very entrepreneurial and all very much like problem solving brains. But also we're like, we don't like, it's just funny, the formal education, we're like, we're smarter than that. We don't need it. And I love it.
No, that's totally true. Someone that has it, you don't need it. As long as you're not in a field that requires it. Otherwise, back in the day, you really could fake it till you make it. That's just like really hard today. But I think I only did it, like I don't care about my piece of paper. It's super awkward when people call me doctor. I just want to do research, and that's what I needed to do research. But I don't really care. It's like literally a piece of paper. I haven't framed any of my degrees. I actually don't know where they are. I should probably find them. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very much like there's some like extremely smart people in this family and very like entrepreneurial and creative, but not a lot of like formal education, which I just kind of love.
I would have like never went to college if society didn't make me feel like I had to, because my like mindset was always I am going to have my own shop one day, like, and so that was my like what I wanted to do like my whole life. So the idea that I even went to college is kind of dumb, and I'm like going back to get my licensure for being an art teacher just so it can like fund my dream. But it just is, yeah, I don't know. Looking back, if I could have told my young self like just not to go to college, I probably would have, just because for me I feel like it wasn't necessary, but now I'm in debt and I have to like figure it out. So
I just love that you were talking about academics. We Dan and I always joke about the business. We're like, we can just fake it till we make it, like Virgil.